We are back. Fortunately, they have decided to focus on doing lawn care today, which was not expected. I expected it tomorrow. So I'm gonna mute the cell while they're around my apartment. Much and more has occurred since last we met. As for determining what comes next, we must speak with Lord Quintus. Strange bedfellows. Before we proceed, tell me what you know of the First Legion and the disposition of their forces. They were preparing for war while the refugees in their care were left to go hungry? A reckless, short-sighted plan that risks the welfare of the people they are sworn to protect. Nevertheless, we cannot compel them to accept our aid. If we were to arrive in force with the intent to do so, that would only incite panic. But perhaps they can be persuaded to follow one of their own. Go with Euless back to the station and have him lead the refugees here. Some may be unwilling or unable to leave, but for the time being, I'll take what I can get. Alphino, Alice, and the scouts sent to extricate them should already be at the station. I will also have other comrades in the area lend their support should it be needed. Understood. Really making me run quite the distance here. Hey, mini cat. It's good that you can't hear it. I've been muting the mic when they get closer to my apartment because they're doing the cycle around the yard. And for some reason, whenever they get to my apartment, they like to linger right outside it. It's super rude. Canis lupinus. Jeremy, are you a Canis lupinus? Look at this road. I'm confused as to why there's even roads in this area. Saying, do you like this music? This theme here? What about the battle thing? What about the bottle thing? Hi, mini cat. Not really. You like to start the song, but you kind of hate it coming back to it for things like gathering. That's fair. Miro and Euless. We arrived just before you did, and too late. Too late for what? What's happened? It's Lord Quintus. He took his own life. After the news about the tent, he relieved us of our duties. Then, when he was alone, he... No, he wouldn't. Thankbit and the others, assisted by soldiers, have seen to the remains. In due course, shall the legatus be afforded a proper. He released us from our duty. He wanted us to be free to choose our own fate. Without him to guide us, I have just this moment spoken with Lucia. We are ready to commence the transfer of the refugees here to Camp Broken Glass, should they be willing to accept our aid. Some would rather die, but most of us just want to live. Songs and standards be damned, we just want to live. We'll need to speak with the refugees. They'll have to decide for themselves if they wish to come with us. If any would prefer to stay, we have supplies brought over for them. It'd be a hard journey for the others, but we'll see that they reach the camp safely. You think Euless wanted to fuck Quintus? Absolutely. He looked at him as more than a father figure. He looked at him as a lover figure. Why is this person's name Sabini Anus? And why do I gotta speak to Sabini Anus? Can I tune to this now? I can. Look, this guy's name is Sabini Anus. It was only ever a dream, wasn't it? To think we could reclaim it, rebuild it all ourselves. Before this all began, I sent my wife and daughter away to the provinces. If there's a chance you might see them again, I'll take it. I might see them again, I'll take it. So take me. Take me with you, please. There, see so? Well, got the arthritis sorted in the end. All it took was a few adjustments, and now it works as well as it ever did. From what I can tell, the one in Laterum is still also functioning as normal. That's where you lot are staying, isn't it? Now that most of us are packing up and leaving this place, I reckon there'll be more use for me and my skills over at your camp. Most of them are giving in pretty easily here, which is good to see. Asane, would you live in a train car? Ah, it's you, the one who treated me with such kindness. I heard from the others that you're not from around here. I thought you were one of us. Not that it makes much difference now. Purebloods, migrants, savages. After a while, the words start to lose meaning, until all you're left with is anger and fear and hate, and I'm too tired. If you and yours have come to offer aid, I'd be glad to accept. Here, Andre. You thought Asane did live in a train car? Sadly, you were wrong, but I could see why you would think that. Damn it. Is that a player? Oh, it is. Okay. We have much to discuss. Our rescue, the attack on Camp Broken Glass, what we'd hoped to talk about with Quintus. All of that can wait. More urgent matters demand our attention. Are any of the refugees willing to come to our camp? Thank the 12. Thank the 12. You and I should go first and secure the route back to Camp Broken Glass. With all the creatures and temperance skulking about, I expect we'll have our hands full. This should come in handy. Conqueror's Chain, courtesy of our laments and friends. I'd save it for the Tempered, though. Indeed, hi. I'll mark a few points that need surveying on your map. Once you've taken care of the riffraff, we'll meet back at our camp. What? You want me to do this 4 times? The fuck game? 1 would have sufficed. This reminds you of episode 6 when the Emperor goes around, goes to go around Vector and talk to the soldiers. Yeah, I can see it. Fun fact, FF6 is actually Jeremy's least favorite Final Fantasy game. It's rare to hear that, but... You're only halfway done it, too. Halfway done what? Because right now I'm at 0% done it. What do you, whatever you have to do 4 more times? I haven't even done 2. I've only done 1. Or I've done 0. 0 out of 4. Main scenario queues 30 minutes during lunch. Oh. Alright. Time to summon Bahamut to deal with this wild Saiga. That's the best use for Bahamut, right? Hey, dude. Oh, they really want you to run out here, too. Holy crap, this is a... I forgot how much of a waste of time this quest is. Just go back to the grid and summon Bahamut to take care of squirrels. The entire zone feels like that. It's such a good story, overarching story, but it's good to play through. Man, it never gets less depressing. It's true. I just don't like the fact that they made me run all the way up there again, and now they're making me run all the way back. That's what I feel is super annoying when they do that crap. Unless they're getting you to run to areas you haven't been before, then it's a little less annoying. There's no threats. Well, that's good, I guess. Alright, I forgot the sound effects that those make. Slipstream! Phoenix! Forgot I had Slipstream now. Got him! Speak with Thancred. I don't want to talk to Thancred. Thancred's an asshole and made me run all the way through this area again. He should be fought. Ah, there you are. As expected, I ran into a few beasts who went down without much of a fight. The temper proved somewhat troublesome, but those chains should keep them under control until our allies take them into custody. With that taken care of, I'm to gather a few supplies and then return to the station. While I see to that, would you mind apprising Lucia of our progress? As it happens, I have some rather pertinent information from our recent scouting forays, but I'll save that for later. First things first, and all that. Jeremy, would you say you're more or less likely to date Lucia nowadays? Ah, Miro, I was informed of Quint's suicide. It must have come as a great shock to his men. What of the refugees? I'm told some were receptive of our proposal, and I would hear your first-hand account. You have no strong feelings one way or the other? What about for Mira? That so many did not hesitate to accept proves how desperate their situation has become. We'll do our best to make them feel welcome. The troops who participated in the ambush are no exception. They will be afforded the same treatment as any other refugee, perfidy notwithstanding. After all, even if I wanted to make an example of them, there's no one left to learn from it. We will tell our allies that these soldiers were acting under the direct orders of their legatus and that following his suicide they offered a full and unconditional surrender. Perhaps Quintus thought that had he lived, he would be tried as a war criminal and his men punished with him. Perhaps by taking his own life, he hoped to absolve them of any culpability. Or perhaps, like too many others, he was a true believer to the end. Who can say? I didn't know the man or his heart. His reasons, noble or otherwise, died with him, and it falls to us to clean up the mess. In from the cold. I assume you're curious about how matters have progressed here in your absence. Quite well, as happens. Now that we've procured ceruleum from the Tapper's Den, the recently repaired heaters can provide much-needed warmth. Furthermore, we prepared sufficient food for everyone. Those from Tertium shall find a hot meal awaiting upon their arrival. There's one for you, so go ahead and get some well-earned rest. I believe that we're capable of wielding a ladle or two without your assistance. On your way, might I ask that you seek out Ishtola? She was but recently attending to the wounded, but she's meant to be taking a rest herself. See that she is. Well, guys, you know what that means. They told us to take a rest. It's time for the world to once again end. Yes, I have been taking proper breaks and am providing sufficient water. But what of the Warrior of Light? You and the twins have an established history of reckless disregard for your own well-being. Well, we're all fortunate that none of you landed yourselves in my care. I've already quite enough to deal with between the temperate and the first wounded. Alas, though I can mend their bodies, the toll their experiences have taken on their hearts and minds is another matter altogether. For their sakes, we mustn't waver, but nor must we rush ahead in eagerness to see the day won, and in so doing, inviting disaster. Upon settling down for supper, several cutscenes will play. Alright, here goes. Settle down for a restful supper.
Is that all of them?
The last of those who agreed to join us, yes.
We left heaters and provisions for those who wish to stay behind. They won't last forever, but hopefully they'll last long enough.
For now, I think everyone's earned a rest. We'll see to those in need of medical attention, so take the others with you and get yourselves some hot soup.
Warmth. At last.
Marvellous, isn't it? All thanks to the resourceful machinists of Ishgard, I might add. On their behalf, I bid you warm yourself to your heart's content.
Hold on. Your people might have scribbled a few things on a piece of parchment, but it was our Leminson Smiths that put the bloody things together.
Well, be that as it may, we single-handedly got the interior heating up and running again, didn't we?
The hells you did! We were there every step of the way.
We? You barely raised a finger to help, you ale-sodden reprobate.
I did a damn sight more than you, you lily-livered bilge rat.
Take that back!
Make me.
I will not stoop to your level.
Here. At ease, man. There's nothing funny in it. I'm from Alamigo, but was a conscript until recently. Used to eat this with the officers.
Apparently, it's adapted from a steppe recipe. This is my first time trying it, and I have to say, it's not half bad.
It's a bit too flavorful for my liking.
Perhaps compared to what you're used to.
It's the little things that make life worth living, don't you think?
I know this is not a dream, and yet... I felt the same way at the Dragon Song War's end. Every morning I would step outside and need to be reminded that it wasn't my imagination, that my world had been forever changed. And just as I had grown accustomed to the idea, Again, you change my world in ways I never thought possible. Were it not for you and your fellow scions, the rifts between man and dragon and myriad tribes might never have been bridged. The Grand Company of Eorzea, the Ilsabard contingent. We owe it all to you. We've shed many tears in recent days, of pain and sorrow, triumph and joy. I much prefer the latter.
As do I.
I'm honored to fight by your side. As an Eorzean and Garlean both, I shall do all in my power to bring my peoples together.
It is a remarkable achievement. Everything that I and the Populares had hoped for, and more.
Would that it had come sooner.
Indeed. Too many are not here to see it. And yet, there is a warmth in my breast, as if they still share in this moment.
Yes, I know what you mean. On a night like tonight, the wind and cold seem to pass me by.
On behalf of the Gallian Empire, thank you for inviting me today.
What? Emperor Varus?
They are being tempered. The talismans! Quickly!
Save me, brave hero! Ahem. My lord has requested your presence, and I would hate to disappoint him.
The experiment was a success, but I fear our time is short. I shall begin the preparations.
Now, it is time for you to awaken. good morrow to you. Here, have a taste before it gets cold. Oh, but be sure to remove your helmet. Take a moment, too, to familiarize yourself with that borrowed flesh. So, how does it feel? I, for one, find those first moments within a new body to be most refreshing. We had a Magitech engineer by the name of Aulus to thank for this method of soul extraction and implantation. I believe the two of you met briefly in Alamigo. His was a rather sticky end, wasn't it? Thankfully, he was thoughtful enough to leave behind his mind-jack technology. I took the liberty of making some improvements and selecting you as my esteemed test subject.
Give me back my body, and this is such a pain in the arse.
Come now. To us Asians, it is no different from trying on new clothes. Why not make the most of it by partaking in this fine cuisine? I must say, I have gone to great lengths to reunite you with my lord. When I discovered that his friend was in this neck of the woods, I suggested inviting you over for dinner. He never deigned to respond, but I took his silence as a resounding yes. Oh my! Daddy is pleased his grumpy little boy has finally found his playmate. Exposition is in order. The Garlean Empire has long outlawed all forms of religion. No gods to worship, no risk of summoning. Brilliantly simple. But people being people must turn to something or someone in their hour of need. Who then? Why, His Radiance the Emperor, of course. As you have observed firsthand, Garlemald has seen better days. The legendary Solus Zosgalvus, dead. Provinces near and far in open rebellion. Our bold new emperor assassinated. And that last one even sparked a civil war. What rotten luck. The people cried out for salvation. Their earnest pleas, one might even call them prayers, a supplication united for the Empire to reclaim her former glory. And so their will did manifest, channeled through the corpse of none other than Emperor Varus himself. And lo, the Savior was born, the embodiment of the Garlean spirit, their anima. It calls to its subjects, compelling them to take up arms and fight. And just as the wealth and power gravitate towards the Empire's capital, so too does ether from every corner of the globe. The towers with which you and your allies have been so preoccupied were created as an extension of Anima itself. An ingenious design. Would you not agree, my lord?
Does the pursuit of prey you have bested before excite you? Of course not. Absent the challenge, the thrill, your prize is a hollow victory. Butchery. Perhaps you think that to be the extent of my promise. I have no doubt fallen in your estimation since Alamigo. Fair enough. But do not let your disdain deprive us, of an opportunity to craft an even more majestic moment of euphoria. I have been honing my craft as I set the stage for our reunion. Wheresoever there is suffering and despair, you appear to fulfill your duty as defender of this star. The chaos and destruction that my hordes have wrought are my gifts to you alone. At a loss for words? No matter. As you will learn, I have only just begun.
Oh, will you not finish your meal?
There is only one thing that can sate my hunger, and it would seem my friend has lost her appetite. I hoped this display of civility might prove an entertaining diversion, but clearly we are above such pretensions. While my lifeless body was in the possession of the Ascian, I too claimed another's as my own. It was an enlightening experience to fight in an unfamiliar form. Flaws and failings in my technique were plain to see. Whence rises one's true strength? The flesh? The soul? Perhaps you should like to discover the answer for yourself. Or together.
Oh dear! Whatever would happen if my lord were to greet your friends as you? I shudder to imagine what carnage he would wreak. We'd better hurry if we want to avert the bloodbath. You can thank me later for my generosity. There it is. Your camp, I believe. If I were to hazard a guess, I would say that you, the other you, is making her way there as we speak. Alas, this you will have to walk from here. Or run, if you can manage it. My lord would be cross if I made it too easy. Such ingratitude. I'd not squander this fighting chance. After all, you've obstacles enough to overcome. Right on cue. Tempered soldiers, with standing orders to kill those not sworn to anima. Under normal circumstances, you would make short work of them. But on this occasion, the odds are not so heavily stacked in your favor.
Proceed. So this is a part that a lot of players really didn't like. I actually did. Some familiar sides with that new body. Might I suggest a little fight to the death? It is actually really difficult, though. A lot of people hated it for just how difficult it was. Fortunately, they let me play as a whatchamacallit? Gladiator, so I'm at least familiar with how the skills play out.
Not bad at all, given your diminished capacity. Nevertheless, 'twould perhaps be prudent to keep to the shadows, scurrying about like a rodent.
Hey, I got a med kit. Let's use that. I have an idea. Could these things like not be fucking destroyed? You hate not being yourself? Yeah, you've mentioned that, but I feel like this was pretty well done overall. I actually don't know where I'm supposed to go from here, though. I think we're supposed to find That's a bit too dangerous. A suit of magic deck armor that is not completely fucked. Not a medkit. Fuel concealing wreckage. Okay. Okay, you got damage out. Not as helpful as one might think, though. Unlockers. You kidding me? Alright. The damage up really helped here. Okay, I need the identification key and fuel. Well, I know where the fuel is. Probably. Medkit. Medkit, okay. That's great and all, but not exactly what we need at this moment. Where was that fuel-filled magic armor? There it is. Alright, we got... Oh, I gotta carry it back. That's lovely. Of course I do. This side of it should actually be relatively safe since I did kill that one. Now I gotta find the key though. I don't remember where the key is, or if I've even seen where the key is, to be honest. Over here in this building, come quick. Alright, hey dude. I was the only one left. Oh, I just got my hand when I took down the magic creeper. If you can repair its leg though, it should still work. Here, take this key. If I used my hand, I might have stood a chance, but please, send help if you can. Excuse me? Oh, hit that one. Off we go then. Okay, we got some more tempered imperial spend. In fact, expect that dude to just zoom up like that. There we go. You there! Please help us! Fucking rude. Why are they being attacked by bears? Also, why aren't bears getting tempered? This is the bear city now. Yeah, citizens, take up arms! Oh, good. We have to get back to the shelter! That's weird. Yes, join with me, citizens. Ow. Once again, super rude. We can make it, citizens! He dead. Ow. I'm almost dead. Unlockers. Guys, join fate for a boss fight. Unable to escape the blast, you begin to lose consciousness. Excuse me? Not letting me use my keyboard for once, that's very strange. You crawl to safety and regain consciousness. The last of your strength, crawl to camp broken glass. Oh, regaining strength, guys. Okay, it's about this direction that we gotta go. And crawl a little faster now. Don't worry, we'll get there. I have 53 HP left. If we run into a bear along the way, we're fucked.
It is a miracle we were able to restrain the tempered without suffering casualties.
A welcome one. Arun, Senna, and the others have their hands full as it is. Thankfully, there are enough scales for everyone.
And what of Eulus? His symptoms were particularly severe.
They were, but others fared still worse, including some brought back from the Magna Glacius. As those in most desperate need take priority, it may be a while before he receives treatment. But rest assured that he will. In the meantime, we must find our missing friend. May the Fury guide you.
Of all the bloody times for a disappearing act.
Right when the first wave struck, we'd be fools to think it a coincidence. But where even to begin the search? No one saw her leave in the chaos, and we've no trail to follow.
While I know full well she can handle herself, I worry all the same.
Ah, speak of the devil.
Well, time to call off the search.
Case closed.
That's her, over there.
Aye, 'twould appear so. Thou art struggling to perceive her presence?
I am. Perhaps, in the aftermath of the wave, there is some residual effect interfering with my faculties. But...
Where have you been? We've been worried sick.
Now, all's well that ends well. Are you all right?
Are you all right?
Who are you?
Enough, Xenos!
Sadly, that is all we have time for today. The effect has run its course, and back to your own bodies you must go. But where are my manners? You have all traveled so very far, and I've yet to pay my respects. Though in my defense, I was ill-prepared to receive so many uninvited guests. As such, preliminary entertainments were in order. A handful of tempered soldiers to hamper your progress. Refugees to command your attention while I siphon the ceruleum from the shadows. Particularly effective, that. Charitable souls that you are. You bent over backwards to aid them, heedless of the delay, predictable to a fault. And so my plan approaches completion unhindered. Anima will soon have absorbed the requisite amount of ether, and then shall come the spectacle to end all spectacles. The eldest and most powerful of primals will awaken, and all shall bear witness to the final days!
The gods themselves will be my meal. Your dear companions my dessert. Upon this world I'll feast, and death shall follow in my wake. All your hate, all your rage, you will render unto me.
For upon thy life's reel wind too many threads of fate, power, weal enmeshed with woe. More terrible still is the attrition wrought upon thy companions, as they are swept up in the storm of thine existence. Take heart and protect them well. They will be your strength and your salvation.
Thank goodness. She's awake.
So, I'm not dead yet?
I am pleased to report you are very much alive.
Everything in working order? That's a relief. Oh, and before I forget, thanks for coming to our rescue.
Given recent events, I would be surprised if you weren't feeling a bit poorly. A hearty meal and a long rest would be my recommendation under normal circumstances, but these are anything but. If Van Daniel's boasts are to be believed, we must act quickly. Once you've blown away the cobwebs, we can discuss preparations for our assault on the Tower of Babel.
Whew, that was a lengthy part, but man, do I like that part. It's... Honestly, I don't find it that hard. It's difficult figuring out exactly where you need to go, other than that. But it's such a cool part, too, getting to see your character. It would have been better to see your character fuck up your party members a little, just because, but... Anyway, we're going to take a break. We got about 30 minutes left to stream, so we're going to continue on for a little more after this.